you once, and I'll tell you twice. The way I feel, here's my advice. I told you once, and I'll tell you twice. The way I feel, here's my advice.
Hi, welcome back to Shakedown. I'm back. It's been a while. A lot's gone down, and it's far too long for me to describe what's happened since then. But I'm back. I'm ready to go. We're gonna keep it moving. And I didn't have an episode for this week. I didn't have an idea, I should say. And then it hit me. Raheem Sterling. Now, I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm not going to go into football pressing matters, but this is a relevant thing because I'm going to be talking about role models. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about role models. And basically, he's got a tattoo of a rifle on his leg. And social media has been in an uproar. I've seen Twitter wars between Piers Morgan and Gary Lineker, and I just kind of thought to myself, like, wow, it's unbelievable how people can actually think about all this stuff. When a guy is trying to prepare himself to play in a very, very prestigious tournament that most men, including myself, would kill for. So, why would you want to talk about that for? Why would you want to like bring him down, bring his mindset down? I don't know why. I mean, it could be because they don't have no faith in the England team. Maybe because they're trying to find anything that they could to talk about this situation. But I'm just there thinking to myself, this is a guy, even though I'm an Arsenal fan, so I don't know much about his Liverpool days or his Man City days. All I know he's a decent player. So, yeah, I'm just there thinking to myself, he's got this tattoo on his ring, and he actually came out to explain why he's got it. Now, the reason why he's got it is because his father was gunned down, and he was 2 years old when it happened. And it's a reminder for him to never go into gun crime. Now, I know that he takes what he does very, very seriously when he's playing football. He looks after his mom. He's donated huge amounts to the relief at Grenfell, and also in Jamaica. He does things over there because he's born in Jamaica. So, yeah, that for me really just kind of outweighs the point to actually why he's got one in the first place. It's his body. And I'm there thinking to myself, right, why aren't there heroes that we could actually look up to? Why? And I'm just there thinking, it's not just about sports, looking up to them. It's about people who come into their lives, you know, people who has done some things, you know. Back in the day when I grew up, I didn't have heroes to look up to per se. I didn't have many male figures in my life. But to me as a man, I think that's important now. We have to kind of start having people to look up to instead of people who we inspire to be. I mean, these days, everybody's looking about all the social media. What's the trend? Who's setting that trend and trying to be like that person and everything. And I'm there thinking to myself, it's wrong. What about the people that's actually done things to actually pave the way for us men to be here? You know, what about the people that actually stood for something positive instead of having to do something negative? What about all those sort of people? We just don't have those sort of people. You can agree with me or disagree with me or not, but you know, I think that's the way it is. Why don't we have these people? We should have these people. We should have these people actually to tell us, where we're going wrong, for us to go to advice. we shouldn't let ourselves to be in a shell and everything, and we go out there and we do something that we ultimately will regret. We just don't have those sort of people. Now, some of you might agree with me with this, and some of you not agree with me with this, but let me know what you guys think. But I'm just thinking to myself that there should be some heroes, there should be someone that we're supposed to look up to, something that kind of gets us going in the morning to say, yes, I wanted to be like that person, you know. Every time the Olympics comes around, and you know, you got people who stand out and they break barriers, then they say, yeah, they want to do things. That's role models, because they stand out and they know what they're talking about. They know how to get people going to doing this thing when they're really passionate about it, you know. You know, there's not many people that actually can resonate with at the moment to say to myself, I really want to go and do this. I really want to do this. You know, some people drive inspiration from themselves, you know, and they just wanted to do it because, you know, that's what they want to do. So I'm going to move on, and I'm going to talk about if the media has any influence in the mindset about heroes. Now, I don't know. When you think about it, the media has a way of, you know, of saying things, of endorsing things, but sometimes people have to make what they will when it comes to reading the media, whether it's newspaper, whether it's TV stations. People have to take it with a pinch of salt. Some of them can go to facts, but really and truly, there's not many people out there. I mean, these days we're all about, if something happens, we instantly record it on our phones. We don't just go out there and just do things. I mean, just a couple of days ago, I saw this video of a man saving a baby from a balcony, and he climbed up about a few stories high just to get the baby. Now that guy has actually won a French citizenship, which is cool. You know, I like seeing people who actually do something for the betterment of others, not because they want money, not because they're after something. It's because they're doing it because they want to. You know, you don't see many people that actually go out there and just say, like, this is unacceptable, stop, and everything. They would just rather be there just trying to mind your own business and everything. And I think that's everybody's business to be there. But sometimes you have to kind of think to yourself, right, if something was to happen to you, would you allow it? So, you know, we all have to be a hero. We all have to be someone who kind of steps in. You know, it's not about looking for money or whatever. It's not looking about for favors or whatever. It's just about trying to, you know, stand up for the little guy. And we don't do that. I mean, superheroes were actually created because they were bullied themselves. They had a voice. They had a voice and they weren't allowed to use it. That's why you got these films coming about every single year. You know, I know a lot of people are tired of superheroes, but I never get tired of it. I could never get tired of superheroes. But I'm just saying that that's why they're about. That's why they got these ideas together and they just wanted to, like, enforce them in the world. You know. So, yeah. I'm going to move on to the next one. Who should you look up to? Now, a lot of people would say you got a close family, and that's fine. But read up about people who actually made the effort to do things. People like Martin Luther King, for example. I'm just saying, I'm not going into this for racial reasons. I'm just saying, people like him. He was actually out there just preaching and trying to do what he could to believe in what he believed in, you know. Or how about Gandhi? He was out there trying to gather peace, you know. Or how about Bob Marley? If you want to go into music, let's go into that one. How about Bob Marley? His music was a way to try and unite people. It was never about anything else but to unite people. So, like, you should look up to people that means something to you, but ultimately it can lead you onto something great, not something that's going to lead you onto something that's going to end up in jail or end up in dead, you know. And that's really the case. That's really the case. So going back to Raheem Sterling, and I looked at his tattoo and everything. I don't find it distasteful and everything because let's be real. Like, it's his body. He can choose to do what he wants to do. That's the bottom line. I don't have a tattoo. The reason why I don't have a tattoo is because I suffer from eczema, and I saw somebody that actually has it, and he's got it a lot worse than I do, and he's got a tattoo, and then it was red all over, and that kind of put me off of having one. I could have one, but if I was to get one, it would be something that was just meaningful. You know, it would mean something to me. It wouldn't do something just because it's mad or anything. But does having a tattoo makes a man less of a role model? Well, it depends on how you view it. Some people get tattoos for different reasons. Some people want it to be a fashion statement. Others do something to remind them about certain things, to remind them about what's going on. I've seen a few that says never give up on there. And they look at that every single day because that's what their mantra is. I've seen people that's got a little bit of sayings. I've seen people that's got children. You know, I don't have anything against people who's got tattoos, but it shouldn't make them less of a role model. Yes, in art forms, I guess it's kind of great to have it, but in a logical sense, I've always viewed myself as a person that looks beyond all that stuff, to be able to talk to the person, to be able to get to know the person, and try to help them in any way, shape, or form that you could. And again, it's not about money. It's not about doing favors for them or whatever. It's doing something because you want to do. You want to. You know, nobody should have an issue with helping. I don't have a problem with helping. Like, personally, if anybody comes to me and they can ask me for my help, I would say, all right, then I'll help you as much as I can. But we shouldn't be taking people for a ride, you know, just because you're out there helping that person and everything. You know, it's not because you return the favor back or whatever, but it should be sort of reciprocated, you know, to do something nice and everything. It's not about having favors done and whatever, but, you know, nice should exchange nice. It should be a vice versa thing. That's where I stand from it. So that's my question on that's my answer on that question. And the last thing I want to talk about is what has changed in regards to role models. I think I probably said this a little bit earlier. Yeah, I just think that a lot's changed over the last 20 to 30 years, the way that we view people. These days, if you're talking about millennials, they look up to YouTube stars rather than people who's out there doing something. And it's not entirely a bad thing that we look for the internet and everything, because how much it's grown over the last few years or so, it's kind of crazy. But I just think that that's really the case of it also. A lot's changed from it all, but people's mindset does change over time. Your perception of yourself just changes over time, and you're gonna have to need some people that's gonna have to have ideas and values and everything else. So really, it depends on what you view to be valued. It just depends on how you see life, you know, and how you talk to people and how you attract people, you know. I never wanted to be a role model. I mean, I never wanted to be a role model, but I have, in my family, I've always had this sort of responsibility towards my family. I've always had this thing to say, okay, I'll step in and everything else, because I know that there's not a lot of people out there that they could actually go to. I would want to step in and say, if you got a problem, talk to me, you know. if I had a house, which I'm trying to work towards, I would be saying to my cousins and everything, if I have it, you can come. You know, if you need a place to stay and you want to stay for a few days, you can have it. You know, but I always say to them, don't take the piss. Don't take the piss. But you know, but you get what I'm saying though. This is what like a lot's changed over time, but I think you should be responsible, and I think you should be one of those kind of people that just stands out and just tries to help people. That's what you need to do. Right, so I'm coming near to the end of this podcast, but before I go, I just got one more thing to say, and that's to award the Extraordinary Person of the Week award. Now, it's quite obvious who it's going to. It is going towards the gentleman, I don't know his name, but it's the gentleman who climbed up that the flats and balconies to get that child safe from harm, and who's won that French citizenship, and my award goes to him. Like, it's just really it's really good that the person could actually go ahead and do that. You know, most people just stand there and say, well, yeah, like, let the fire brigade come down, but if he had not done something, that baby would have died. And it's kind of sad how it's all gone down, but like, the baby would have died. And unfortunately, the baby's saved. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good thing. And he's been dubbed the human side Spider-Man, so that's a good thing as well. You know, he might give Tom Holland a run for his money. But yeah, the Extraordinary Person award goes to him. Right, so that is it for my podcast. Usually I would have gone down to actually speak for about half an hour, but this one's a bit shorter than usual. I've had a lot of feedback over the last few weeks or so about the way that my podcast is structured, and I'm trying to do it as shortened as I can possibly can. But I'm on social media, so I'm on Facebook. It's Theo Samuels. Instagram, it's Theo Samuels 11. Twitter, it's Theo_Samuels, and I'm on Snapchat as well, T_Swoosh11. So if you really want to get in touch with me in any way, shape or form, those are the ways to just do it. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys on the next podcast. Till then, peace out.
Once, and I'll tell you twice. The way I feel, here's my advice. I told you once, and I'll tell you twice.